Hey everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. I thought that I would do a chill, casual, get ready with me video, and I'm trying to use some new products that I have never worn on camera before. And I'm actually heading out on a romantic little lunch date with my boyfriend. So I thought that I would show you the kind of makeup look that I would wear for a date. And I'm also going to show you my outfit as well. So if you want to see all that, just keep watching. Good morning. It is a beautiful, sunny, spring day. My skin is ready and primed. All I have on is just my skincare, and then I put on some sunscreen as well. And we are going to start with foundation. This is a foundation that I have used on and off for the last month or so, but I've never used it on camera. I've never talked about it on camera, and it's the Pure Minerals Bare It All Foundation. I have the shade Golden Medium, which is a perfect color match for me, which is really nice. I do tend to struggle with color matching sometimes, which is, I feel like it shouldn't happen. I don't think I have a skin tone that's that hard to color match, but I feel like I'm always in between shades. So let's put it on and I'll show you. I like to dot it all over my face first to kind of thin it out a bit. It blends out beautifully. Then I go in with a beauty blender. Now this foundation claims to have a 12-hour lasting power and a demi matte finish. And they also suggest that you use this with a brush. I do not like using this with a brush. I tried using the Artiste brush with it, and I just found that because this foundation has a thick, creamy texture, the brush would leave streaks. So my favorite method of application is the beauty blender. But yeah, the reviews online, they were complaining that this foundation is heavy, and I don't think this is a heavy foundation at all. I think it can be heavy if you use too much of it. That's why I prefer kind of scooping out a bit first and just spreading it with your fingers and then going in with the beauty blender sponge. That way you just get a nice sheer layer. I find that it gives a nice medium coverage. You can build it up to like a medium full. I'm not going to build it up today because I like, especially when it's like a really bright day outside, I like to have my skin showing through. I don't like to wear a really heavy base. So this foundation is actually really nice. I don't think that it has 12 hours of oil control. On me at least, when I wear this foundation to work, I do have to touch up, I have to blot and powder around lunchtime. But this actually does wear nicer on my nose area than the Armani Power Fabric. So I think the foundation is good. For concealer, I have nothing new to try, so I'm just using my Old Faithful Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade number 10. Highlighting with it a little bit as well. And to conceal any outstanding blemishes, I am using the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, a Sephora number 57 brush. Definitely going to be in my 2017 favorites. Such an easy product. Doesn't work well with the beauty blender. I also don't like applying this with fingers. I just love applying this with this brush. It's a match made in heaven. Just using some Laura Mercier brightening powder under the eyes. And this is a Cozzette S150 brush. Then for the rest of my face, I'm going to use the Burberry Hyaluronic Hydra powder, and I'm using a Wayne Goss airbrush brush, which is one of my favorite brushes ever. It's like a soft paw hitting your face, and I like the precision that I get with it, especially with a powder like the Burberry powder, which can make my skin look dry if I use too much of it, so I like to just be careful. All right, moving on to eyes. This is the Smashbox Cover Shot Matte Eye Palette, and this kind of reminds me of the what's it called? The Urban Decay Naked Basics, kind of, except you get more color options, and the size is really nice. I think this will be a great palette for travel. All the eyeshadows in there are matte, and I'm going to be using this side. So not the purpley side, just more of the brown side. This is a 221 crease brush from Zoeva, and I'm just applying the color in my crease. And it seems to blend out nice. This shade is kind of like Mac Wedge, which is one of my favorite crease colors ever. And I'm taking the slightly lighter shade, like a transition shade, and I'm just blending out the crease using that color. And I'm actually really impressed with the texture of this eyeshadow so far. I would say that it's better than the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. I'm going to use a little bit of that lightest shade under my brow bone. And then I'm going to use that darkest brown shade, just a little bit of it in the outer corner. For a little bit of sparkle, I'm using this Estee Fluid Metal Eyeshadow in the shade Got It Bad. This is the one that I've been reaching for. And I've never tried the Stila liquid glitter eyeshadows, but I would assume that they're similar. So I'm just applying it all over the lid with the applicator. And then I'm trying to blend it out a little bit with my finger. I'm finding it hard to distribute the glitter evenly across the eyelid. I'm going to let it dry for a little bit, and then I'll go back in and try to blend that crease out a little bit more. On my lower lash line, I'm using the Burberry Eye Contour in the shade Almond. I just remembered that I have this, so I busted it out this week to use it up some more. I love using this on the lower lash line. Instead of taking an eyeshadow and an eyeshadow brush and smudging it around, I just use this stick. I think the liquid eyeshadow is dry now, so I'm just going back in with that mid-tone crease color. And I'm mixing it a little bit with that transition shade. And I'm just going over the very edge to soften it a little bit. For the rest of my face, for bronzer and blush, I'm using this beautiful Clarins Bronze and Blush Compact. This is like a Clarins tradition. Every single summer they come out with this beautiful, warm, bronzy, peachy cheek combination. It is so, so pretty, but I feel like they all look really similar. So if you bought the one from last year, you probably don't need to buy this one because the colors are very similar. It's still a warm bronzer and the peachy blush shade. So it's not the type of thing that you buy every single year because they are not that different from each other. But if you have never bought it before, this is definitely a palette worth investing in the summer because it will be all you reach for. It's so, so beautiful. The perfect colors for summer. And I'm taking a Trish McEvoy angled I was gonna say cheese brush. Don't take a cheese brush. Take a cheek brush, and I'm brushing it all over the bronzer side. You also get a nice mirror in there. It has no shimmer in it either, but it's not a dull matte. It just has a very satin skin-like finish. Then with the same brush, I'm dipping into the peachy blush shade to the apples of my cheeks. Now you can definitely use a highlighter on top of this palette if you want more sheen. I have a feeling I will be getting oily in the next couple of hours, and this foundation doesn't have like incredible oil control by any means, so I definitely feel like I will be just getting a natural glow. So I'm not going to be using any highlighter, but you can definitely go in and use highlighter on top of this. Something like Becca Opal would be really, really beautiful. So that's it for the cheeks. I'm going to do my eyebrows off camera and I'll be right back. Now it's eyelash time. So I'm curling my lashes with the Surratt curler. I'm using the Lancome eyelash primer. I love this stuff. It makes such a difference in my lashes. I haven't been wearing eyeliner as much as I used to just because now I feel like my eyelashes are longer and I can make a statement with my eyelashes. I don't need to use a liner as much. This is the Butterfly Sculpt Mascara. Kind of took a while for me to get accustomed with the wand, but now I really, really like it. It separates, it lengthens, it thickens my lashes. For lips, I'm using my Old Faithful. This is getting dangerously low. I'm going to have to buy a backup soon, but this is the Annabelle Demure lip liner. This is just my go-to everyday nude lip liner, especially when I'm doing like a warmer, slightly peachier nude lip. And the lipstick that I'm using is the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipstick in the shade Honeycomb. And because I want to warm it up a little bit, I want to add a little bit more peach. I'm using this Clarins Instant Light Natural Lip Perfector in shade number 11. This is, I'm not a big lip gloss person, but the Clarins lip perfectors are hands down my favorite lip gloss formula. I have gone through so many of them. My favorite is shade 01. Shade 11 is like a limited edition summer shade, and I love applying it on top of nude lipsticks just to get a hint of peach color. And it's a really hydrating formula. And this is the finished look. I feel like my lips look giant. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder. I'm like, what happened? Might have gone a little overboard with the lip liner, but this is just a subtle nude peach look, perfect for a spring summer date. I'm really happy with how this came together. I hope you enjoyed it, and now I'm going to show you my outfit.